Hello everyone, this is your stimulus update for Thursday, June 4th. And this stimulus update is for those of you that still haven't received your first $1,200 stimulus from the CARES Act. And I will mainly be talking about those of you that are on SSI, SSDI, Social Security Retirement, Social Security Survivors, VA benefits recipients, Railroad Retirement benefits recipients, and expats, or those living outside of the US and still haven't received their stimulus payments. For those of you that are expats, I know a lot of you feel like you've been forgotten, and I'm going to be talking about the information that's out there from the IRS, as well as some other information that I have for you. To those of you that have already subscribed to my community, thank you so much for coming back. And for those of you that have not, my name is Justin, and I do daily stimulus check updates. So if you haven't subscribed already, be sure to subscribe to my channel right now and hit the notification bell so that you're notified each and every time I upload a new video. And if you would, please click the like button so that YouTube will share this video with others, and I would really appreciate it. And if you have any questions that aren't answered in this video, as always, leave them in the comment section below, and I will do my best to answer them in the comment section or in a future video. A lot of people have been telling me in the comments that they received their payment on June 3rd, and I'm so happy for them. Lisa Perez is one of those commenters, and she says, "Hi, I'm on SSI with Payee, and I finally received my stimulus check today, June 3rd, direct deposit. Thank you for your help. Everyone who hasn't received it will soon. Hang in there." Thank you for your comment, Lisa, and congratulations on getting your stimulus payment finally. And to those of you that have already received your stimulus payment, congratulations. A long wait for many of you, so I'm happy that some of you are getting your stimulus payments already. To those of you that are still waiting and are on SSI, SSDI, Social Security Retirement, or Survivors, Railroad Retirement benefits, or VA benefits recipients, I want to share some comments from some people that have talked to the IRS and have received some information and some ideas on what they can do to get their stimulus payment faster. This doesn't necessarily mean it's exactly what you should do, but it's what they heard from the IRS and what they did to get their stimulus payments. One such comment comes from Karen, and it says, "I had to drop a post. Your info is very helpful. I've been waiting and using the Get My Payment tool to no avail. I watched your video today and decided to call IRS. I was told today that the IRS had no info on whether I would receive a check. They updated my address. I was told to go to the non-filers form and fill it out. Add my bank info. Even though I get SSI and Survivors, I was told I didn't have to do anything. That is not true in some cases. For those who are still waiting, keep calling the IRS helpline until you get someone. You may have to fill out the non-filers form. Don't just wait. Take action. The IRS told me I wasn't in the system. I'm glad I viewed this video." Thank you for your comment, Karen. A couple things first. Karen was patient and called the IRS, and while she didn't get right through, she kept trying and finally got a hold of somebody that let her know that her information was not in the IRS's system. I'm guessing some of you may fall into that category as well. And she was asked by the IRS to enter information into the non-filers tool. So even though she was on SSI and Survivors benefits, and she didn't technically need to use the non-filers tool, the IRS asked her to use the non-filers tool. So as long as you don't file taxes, the non-filers tool is something you can do to ensure that you will receive a stimulus payment. But I would contact the IRS and find out for sure if they want you to use the non-filers tool or not. But if you don't file taxes and are not required to file taxes, it won't hurt anything to use the non-filers tool. I have another comment from Kimberly, and she says, "The IRS told me to use the non-filers tool, which I'm not supposed to have to do, being I'm SSDI with Direct Express." So once again, I'm not going to tell you to use the non-filers tool, but that's a second person. I've had others that have said that they talked to the IRS, and the IRS asked them to use the non-filers tool to fill out their information. So if you receive SSI, SSDI, Social Security Retirement or Survivors, VA benefits or Railroad Retirement benefits, and you do not file taxes, you may use the non-filers tool to enter your information to make sure the IRS has it. Just remember, if you are on a Direct Express and you use the non-filers tool, your payment will not come through Direct Express. It will either come through a bank account if you add that to the non-filers tool, or a paper check will come in the mail if you do not add a bank account to the non-filers tool. But just sharing with you a few things that some people that have talked to the IRS have heard from the IRS, and that was to use the non-filers tool, even though they weren't required to. So keep that in mind. The non-filers tool is there. You don't have to use it if you're on any of those benefits I've talked about before, but it is an option, and as long as you don't file taxes, you may use it. The other thing is, keep trying to call the IRS. Only the IRS can give you your exact date and the information that they have for you or don't have for you and what you should do. I can guess based on what you've told me in the comments, what benefits you're on, but I can't give you a definitive answer one way or the other. Only the IRS can, and I know that calling the IRS is a pain, but is it worse than waiting and waiting and waiting and not knowing? That's a question you'll have to answer for yourself. It's going to take some time most likely, but it is an option. Let's talk about expats. I've had so many comments, especially recently, from those that are living outside of the US and are eligible for payment, but still haven't received their stimulus payment. So first off, I'm going to start off with pretty much the only information the IRS has given about expats. And it says, as a US citizen living abroad, am I entitled to a payment? And the answer to that is yes. US citizens living outside the country are eligible for the payment. Anyone eligible to file Form 1040 or Form 1040-SR is an eligible person if they have a valid Social Security number and can't be claimed as a dependent of another taxpayer. Non-resident aliens who file or would file Form 1040-NR or Form 1040-NR-EZ are not eligible for the payment. I have so many expats that are wondering if they've been left out. One of the commenters is Stephen Mueller, and he says, hey, what about expats? We are in the dark. And from his comment, he got a bunch more responses from other expats that are wondering the same thing. You're not alone. I'm an expat and still waiting also. I've heard of a few expats who have received their $1,200 stimulus payment. But even though you live abroad, you must have a US bank account. The federal government will not send payments to a foreign bank account. And another comment, I live in Honduras and received my Social Security Administration retirement by direct deposit to my account for 4 years. The SSA made me send them an account here and an address where I physically live. Why would the SSA send my benefits but the IRS not? Both come from the Treasury Department. That is stupid, to be polite. They say you will get the stimulus payment the same way you receive benefits. Michael Peck here. So I agree completely. It is stupid. The IRS really hasn't come up with a solution for those of you living outside of the US. So the bad news is there isn't much more information. The good news is, as long as you meet the requirements, you are eligible. However, much like I've told people earlier in this video, there is a chance you might want to fill out the non-filers tool. The non-filers tool can be used by anyone that is not filing taxes and is not required to file taxes. The Get My Payment tool is something that I'm telling people usually to enter, but for those of you that live abroad and don't have a US address on file with the IRS, the Get My Payment tool is of no help, as you probably already know. In fact, it's so bad that there was a representative, Dinah Titus, sent a letter to the Treasury Secretary and the IRS Commissioner. In the letter, it explains the problem that expats are having with the stimulus payments and the problem with the IRS not sending payments to US-based banks, and it explains that many expats don't know when they're going to receive their payment because they don't have addresses on file with the IRS. If you want to check out the full letter, I have a link to it in the description below. Unfortunately, even with the letter, there hasn't been any action that has been taken by the IRS or anyone else to help expats get their stimulus payments any quicker or get answers for those of you that don't have US-based bank accounts. For those of you that don't have US-based bank accounts, the IRS hasn't come out and specifically said they won't send payments to non-US based bank accounts, but based on what the IRS does with tax returns, they won't send payments to US based bank accounts. So even though there hasn't been any action taken for those expats or those living outside the US, at least know that there are representatives that are fighting to get you your stimulus payments. Thank you so much for watching. I hope some of this information was helpful and at least let you know the latest that there is for each of you. I wish I had more info, and I wish I could tell each and every one of you exactly when you're going to receive your stimulus payment. But only the IRS can answer that, and sometimes they can't even answer that. If you haven't subscribed already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. And like this video so that YouTube will share it with others. I really appreciate you watching my videos, and I will talk to you again soon.